Hi. Hi, if you're just joining me, my name is Enorita James. I'm a clinical research scientist working and living in Germany. In this video, I'll be talking about why I'm actually starting a 90-day O.M.A.D fasting. O.M.A.D stands for 1 meal a day. It's a certain kind of intermittent fasting. And if you're not used to intermittent fasting, you may not understand what O.M.A.D is. O.M.A.D simply means that you have a very short eating window in 24 hours. That means my first meal is at 3:30, or let me say I'll allow meal into my mouth between 3:30 and 6:30. So I have a 3 hours eating window in 24 hours. In these 3 hours, I can decide to just take one full meal. That is a real meal. So that is what is known as O.M.A.D, intermittent fasting. I needed to explain that. As I said, my name is Enorita James. I'm a clinical research scientist working and living in Germany. Why did I start O.M.A.D? Why am I doing this 90-day challenge? I'm 58. And I'm just lucky that God gave me a good stature. But the fact that God gave me a good stature didn't mean that I did not work on myself. And I'm a very disciplined person. I don't eat anything. I try to eat healthy. But in 2010, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that really brought me back to life. You know this saying that when you cannot be in the river and then soap will be entering your eyes. I discovered that this is a saying that really happens to most of us that are in the medical field. Most times, you will be taking care of your other people, you'll be doing medical things, and you forget yourself. So that was really a wake-up call for me. In fact, that is one of the reasons I opened this YouTube channel. In my channel, I talk about preventive health. I talk about things you can do to prevent some of these metabolic diseases, because really, God has given us wisdom. God has given us certain kinds of food that contains certain kinds of things that can actually work well for our body. It just takes patience for us to be able to, patience, interest, persistence, to know your body, to be able to know what to take, what is good for you, what can prevent disease. Because it is out there, really. So why did I start O.M.A.D? When I turned 50, is it 50? I think 53 or so, I discovered that I started adding weight. I started adding weight. Even when I was eating normal, good meals. I started adding weight. And then I started researching into this fasting, into what is called autophagy, what happens to our body when we fast for certain hours. And I discovered that this is an area that research has not really tapped enough into, because it is something that is a natural thing, So when I started adding weight, I said, okay, let me try this fasting thing. Let me try this intermittent fasting. After I've done my research, I have read a lot of research on it. Not so much, really. I've listened to a lot of YouTube videos. I listened to a lot of nutritionists. They talked about this intermittent fasting. They talked about getting your body into a state of osevage, autophagy, I think. Autophagy stands for um, your cells eating up useless cells. It's two words, auto and phagy. Auto means self, phagy means to engulf, to eat up. So there is a state your body can get to where cells that are not good, cells that can be destructive, cells that can cause inflammation will be taken out, and then new cells will be formed. And the only way you can get into this state is through fasting. When I turned 53, as I said, I discovered that things started changing. I started having all these hot flashes. I started not being able to sleep too well. Somebody like me, I sleep. Oh. I used to sleep very well. Once my head hits the pillow, I'm gone. So I started having all this. And then my trousers, my skirts, I could not wear them. Hey, I could not button them without struggle. What is happening? If you're in this same season of life, you will understand how frustrating that can be. You will understand it, except you're not in this same season, you know. So I started gaining weight out of the blue. My clothes no longer fit me. My energy dropped. I just did not feel like myself anymore. And the most confusing part was that I wasn't even eating more than usual. I was eating the normal things that I normally used to eat. There was no change, you know. At first I was wondering, okay, maybe it is this snacking I started doing. I don't know about you, if you have this challenge, if you're over 50 and you have this challenge of wanting to snack. I'm somebody that never used to snack. I never used to eat anything between meals. I'm drinking ginger with lemon. I chop ginger into this with lemon. I take this every morning. This is part of my drink. This is part of my 90-day challenge. So if you want to join me, you can go ahead and join. So as I was saying, at first I was thinking maybe I was not trying hard enough. Maybe there's something wrong. Why am I adding weight? And then it hit me. I was trying to use the same strategies when I was around 40. But the challenge is that when you approach 50, 55, 60, your body has new things happening to it. And for women, most of the challenges, most of these problems, like, weight gain around your abdomen, weight gain around your hips, weight gain around your biceps, this thing they call Christian mother bicep. Most of the challenges is due to hormonal changes. In my yesterday's stream, I talked about the reasons why you add weight after 50. So you can go ahead and listen to that stream. I really, really broke it down for you to understand, because if you're out there and you're not getting it, apart from the fact that you're having hot flashes, you're having your energies going up and down, and then comes this weight. So if you listen to that stream, you really understand what's happening with your body, you know. So, and I just want you to know that weight gain is not, especially if you're over 50, in your late 50s, 60s. It's not your fault. If you're not having those kind of challenges, you're a slim person and you're still slim, then good. You're lucky. But for majority of women, weight gain starts because of these hormonal changes. So O.M.A.D caught my attention because number one, is not a quick fix. It is not a punishment per se. It is not a crash diet. It is not something, it's not a crash exercise or something. It is something that I can do naturally. And the reason I'm actually doing this and bringing YouTube into it and doing these videos because I've ago and it worked. So I decided to put it out here. So let me do this thing. And let me try to do a video every day. And let me journal it. So what is O.M.A.D going to do for us, for me, and for you that might want to go on this challenge or on this journey with me? O.M.A.D, one meal a day, will actually reset your insulin. Your body will reset naturally. It will reduce inflammation. It will give your digestive systems a break. Have you noticed that sometimes when you eat, 4 hours later, 5 hours later, your tummy is still a little bit full, and yet you're hungry? Your digestive systems need a break to breathe. It will also calm down cortisol, the stress hormone, and then it will also burn stored fat in a natural way. Those fats that are being stored, they'll start coming out because the body will need something to use to give you energy, you know? And it will go to those stored fats in those places to remove those fats from that your abdomen, from those your hips, and convert them to energy for us to use. So that is why I am doing this fast. So you find out that if you're even doing one meal a day, at least you won't think of snacking. It's like resetting your brain. You know, there's something that God has blessed us with. He has blessed us with brain cells that you can reset. You can reset your brain. You can create a character. You can create discipline. You know, if you're watching me now, you feel, but you're not looking fat. If you see my tummy and my hips, it's not showing on my face. If you see my tummy and my hips now, and climbing up the stairs, we live in the third how will I say, the third floor. So climbing up the stairs became a Herculean task for me because of the weight of my hips on my knees. And that is not healthy. And I could no longer bend down to wear my shoes. That is not healthy. And that is not acceptable to me. If it is acceptable to you, fine. For me, it is not acceptable. I had to do something about it. Because me, I want my confidence back. I want to look in the mirror and recognize myself. I want to see my waistline. I want my joints to stop aching and I want my clothes to fit me. You know, I want my energy back and I'm getting it back. Because the reason I'm so confident is that I've done it before. It's just that I went back to eating and snacking. I've done it before. This time around, I'm doing it with you if you want to join me. And I'm doing it for somebody out there that is wondering, what can I do naturally to reduce this weight? Because I know that most of you there feel the same, especially if you're over 50, approaching 60. Most women, at least 80% of women, have all these challenges that I'm listing out. So if you want to join me, feel free to join me. But know one thing, if you've never fasted before, if you're used to 3 square meals, don't go straight to O.M.A.D. Let me explain it. This is for somebody that is watching me and has no clue what O.M.A.D is. Intermittent fasting simply means that you give yourself a window to eat a few hours in 24 hours for food to enter your mouth. You could give yourself 8 hours window to eat, 6 hours window to eat, 4 hours or 3 hours. It all depends on you. But if you're starting fasting, if you've been doing 3 meals a day, start by coming down to 2 meals a day. Maybe give yourself 6 hours window to eat. What do I mean by that? Maybe your first meal should be at 12 or 1 p.m. and your last meal to be at around 6 p.m. That means from 6 p.m. nothing food enters your mouth. You can drink tea, fruits, coffee, but no food. So that is essentially what intermittent fasting is. O.M.A.D is a type of intermittent fasting. It stands for 1 meal a day. That means only 1 full meal enters my mouth in a day. And I give myself 3 hours window. That means my first meal is about 3:30. When I say first meal, it means that from 3:30, some food, it could be a salad or anything, but real food is 1 meal. And I can take it between that 3:30 or 6:30. That's my own. That is how I do my own O.M.A.D. If you do yours before, if you've done it before and there's a way that you feel should be done, and you're over 50, then drop your comments for somebody that might be listening out there. So if you're ready to take control of your health, I don't do my lives long, I just tell you. There is a link below this video for you to download your 90-day journal. There's something about journaling, writing down what you're doing daily, especially if you're doing a challenge. You're challenging yourself on something, because the problem with a long time thing is that if you do not challenge yourself, you might not complete it. And when it comes to fasting, it is not a weight loss quick syndrome. It is something that is gradual. You begin to notice it. In fact, after a week of doing it, you begin to notice something. You begin to notice that your energy is gradually coming back. You begin to notice that your skin is looking better and fresher. You begin to notice that you're sleeping well. You begin to notice that your tummy is not so bloated or big in the morning, as if nothing has been digested. It's getting flatter. So it is a gradual thing, you know. That is why it's good for you to journal it. You journal what you eat. You journal how much fluid you've taken in that day. You journal it. Like me, I take this ginger every morning, and doing fasting with ginger is fantastic. In one of the videos subsequently, I'll talk about how ginger can help stop or reduce hunger pangs or cravings. This helps a lot. And I put in lemon. I put in lemon. See, I have lemon inside, squeezed, and then I still leave it inside. And then the ginger, when I finish, I eat up the chopped ginger. I eat it up. Because it is fiber and it's fantastic. Fantastic fiber. So, as I said, if you want to join me in my 90-day challenge, or if you're just coming across this video, note the journal below. you know, and start journaling. I've started mine. If you have any challenge of how to record it, maybe in the subsequent series, I'll do a video on how to journal your intermittent fasting challenge. I think I'll do a video showing you step by step how you can do that. So, if you're ready to take control of your health again, if you're 50, you're 55, you're 58 like me, you're 60 or beyond, then come with me and let's do this together. Let's get rid of those fats around our abdomen, around our hips. Let's look good. Let's feel good. Today is my 4th day, and I can't wait to share the entire journey with you if you want to join me. So if this video resonated well with you, make sure you subscribe and do not miss my updates. Next week, Tuesday, 7th day, I think, we'll be my 7th day, then I'll weigh again. I weighed myself when I started. I was 88 kg. 88. Me that used to be 69, 70. 88. So after a week, I'm going to weigh again and see what has happened. So thank you so much for watching this stream. Till the next one, stay blessed and stay fasting.